Welcome back. Today we'll be looking at conditional statements. In the conditional statement in JavaScript, we have the if statement and the switch case statement. But for this lesson, we'll be looking at the if statement. So let's take an instance whereby we want to create an application where it checks the age of the user and then display the proper message for this user. So let's say if age is greater than, let's say if age is greater than 10 or 12, so let's say this user is a teenager. So if age is greater than, let's say 18, this user is an adult. So we said if age is also greater than 50, let's say this user is an elder. So let's look at how we can create this particular program. We said we'll be taking the user age. We said if the age is greater than 12, we said this user is a teen. If the age is greater than 18, this user is an adult. But if the age is greater than 50, then this user is an elder. So what we're going to be doing here is I'll be introducing the syntax for the if statement in JavaScript. So here, what it does is that it takes in the if keywords, then it takes in our parentheses. So in this parenthesis, this is where we're going to provide our condition here. So if whatever we're adding here, condition. So this takes in the condition. So after the condition, then we can have a block of code. These curly braces are called the block of code. So if the condition here is true, our program is going to enter this block of code. But if the condition is false, our program goes outside this block. So now let's declare a variable that holds the user age. So let's say var age is equals to, let's start with 10. So var age is equal to 10. So let's say if age is greater than 12, so now let's display a message to the user. Console.log. So we want to tell this user that you are a teen. You are a teen. So now, if we save this, you notice we don't have anything on the console here because this condition is false. This user age is not greater than 12. So this user is not a teen. So what if we said this user is 13 years old? So we said var age equals to 13. So here we're saying if age is greater than 12. So let's see what happens here. Save this. You see, we get a message here, you are a teen, because this condition is true. So like I said earlier, if the condition is true, then the block of code get executed. But if it is false, it pushes the condition outside the block. So, but what if we want to check if this user, let's go back to 10 again. If this user here, if the condition is false, we can also introduce an else block that handles that for us. So in case this user is not, the age is not greater than 12, we want to say, okay, console.log, you are a kid. So now if we save this, you see we get a message here because the condition here is false. So now the else statement will be executed. But if the condition is true, let's go back to 13 here. You see we have you are a teen because this age is actually greater than 12. So we get this message. But if it is false, it goes outside and then the else block get executed. So let's look at a scenario whereby we want to check if our user is an adult, or this user is a teen, or this user is an elder. So I'll be doing this. Let's say I would refactor all of this. We can say if our condition now age is greater than or equal to 50, this time we said console.log. So I'll say here you are an elder. You are an elder. So now the next thing we also want to check is I'll be introducing the else if. What if this user, the age, is greater than or equal to 18? So here I would also console.log here. So set you are an adult. So let's see if I save this, you see we're not getting any of this because our age condition here it's not satisfied. So let's say this user is 18. So let's see, you get you are an adult. So let's see when the user is 50, you save that, you see you are an elder. So now let's check for a thing. Else if the age is greater than or equal to 12, so we can say you are a teen. Console.log you are a teen. So now let's provide the user is 12 years old, and then you see you are a teen. So what if this user is 8 years old, and then we save this, you see our system don't return any message. So there is a need to add an else block in case all of this condition failed. This, and this. In case they failed, we should say console.log you are a kid. You are a kid. Or we can say invalid age selection. So because this condition now you see is not specified in any of this, then we get an output you are a kid. So don't forget, we always add the else block in case all of this if conditions fails. So in our next lesson, we'll be looking at how we can use the switch